Good morning and a warm welcome to your show, Sunny Mornings in Encinitas. We're the daily podcast that gets you started on the right foot and always with a positive vibe. I'm your host, Melissa, and it's Thursday, November 23rd. Today is Thanksgiving. Yay! Thanksgiving Day in the U.S. dates back to 1621, when Pilgrims in Wampanoag, Native Americans, shared an autumn feast. President Lincoln officially declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863 amid the Civil War. The traditional feast menu likely differed from today's, and Thanksgiving became associated with turkey, parades, and football. Despite debates over its origins, Thanksgiving endures as a time for gratitude and feasting, rooted in ancient harvest celebrations and diverse cultural influences. Now let's check out the weather in our area. This morning, it's cloudy and 56 degrees, with 66% humidity. Tonight, the sun will set at 4:43 p.m., and it will rise again tomorrow at 6:26 a.m. It looks like we're in for a day of fog, sun, and warm wind. We'll have patchy fog before 10 a.m. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high near 65. South wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, a slight chance of showers after 10 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 57. South wind around 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. Expect significantly cooler temperatures, but overall seasonal for this time of the year. A trough of low pressure to our north will strengthen our onshore flow, which will lead to the return of the marine layer, especially Thursday night into Friday morning. This will also bring us a slight chance of light rain. Now here is some info from surfline.com. Waves up a touch on today as northwest swell continues, and a little short period northwest pulse joins in, while small southwest swell lingers. Average spots still struggle to get to waist high, as best breaks in South San Diego get up to chest-shoulder high onsets during most favorable tides. The first high tide today will be 6 feet, right around 6 a.m. with a half-foot low tide at 12:30 p.m. The nearshore buoy at Scripps in La Jolla reads 64 degrees for the water temperature. In the national weather, a storm bringing wintry mix to interior New England, heavy snow in the northern Rockies on Thanksgiving. A storm will shift across southern New England and the Gulf of Maine, bringing a wintry mix today across the interior northeast U.S. An Arctic cold front will push south across the central U.S. through Thanksgiving. Moderate to heavy snow is forecast over Wyoming, progressing southward into Colorado into Friday. And now a greeting from our sponsor. Bonjour, food enthusiasts. This podcast is brought to you by Versailles Cafe and Pastries in Encinitas. Nestled on El Camino Real, south, just north of Encinitas Boulevard, this cafe is a haven for culinary delights. Indulge in the divine experience of their amazing Eggs Benedict or their gluten-free crepes. You can grab a panini during lunch or just breeze through to get your morning coffee. They are open every day from 8 to 5, so stop on by and grab a coffee and pastry to go. And don't forget to tell them Sunny sent you. Now on to some sports news. A new Barry Sanders documentary is now streaming on Amazon Prime. In the documentary, Bye Bye Barry, former Detroit Lions running back Barry Sanders explains his retirement from the NFL in 1998 after 10 seasons. The film, featuring Michigan figures like Eminem and Jeff Daniels, portrays Sanders as a humble superstar who chose to leave on his terms. The documentary reinforces the notion that Sanders' decision to retire was rational, emphasizing his normalcy as a person despite his extraordinary athletic abilities. That will definitely be a good watch. The highlights of his dazzling moves alone will be worth the time. And lots of football to watch today and tomorrow. The action starts out with Packers at Lions at 9:30 a.m., then Commanders at Cowboys at 1:30. And to cap off the night while you take in your third round of turkey and stuffing, 49ers at Seahawks at 5:20. Boy, am I glad I'm in the Western time zone for these games. Friday, on Amazon Prime, the Dolphins play at the Jets starting at noon. Now let's talk science for a moment to stimulate our brains and prep for that awkward lull in dinner conversation. For 155 million years, a continent the size of the U.S. was missing, puzzling scientists about its whereabouts. Dutch researchers at Utrecht University have now definitively located parts of this land mass called Argoland within the jungles of Southeast Asia. Argoland broke into a set of islands before drifting to Southeast Asia. This discovery enhances our understanding of Earth's geological history and provides insights into continental breakup and growth, unlocking paths for biodiversity and climate research. The finding also prompts speculation about other, possibly missing territories in the older Pacific Ocean. Wow, so intriguing. Be sure to share that interesting news with your guests at dinner today. The stock market is closed, so let's learn a little more about Thanksgiving, shall we? The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, a tradition since 1924, has evolved over the years. Initially featuring smaller balloons and fewer elements, it has grown into a massive spectacle with giant character balloons, floats, and performances. From Andy the Alligator in 1933 to iconic characters like Mickey Mouse in 1934 and the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz in 1939, the parade has become a symbol of Thanksgiving in New York City. And before the giant balloons were roaming the streets of Manhattan, not everyone was so lucky to have food and warmth to sustain them through this difficult time period. Disquantum, commonly known as Squanto, played a crucial role in the survival of Plymouth colony Pilgrims. Born around 1580, he belonged to the Patuxet tribe of the Wampanoags. He was forced to Europe, where he learned English. When he returned, he found his people devastated by a plague. But his knowledge of farming, fishing, and hunting, along with English language skills, proved indispensable to the Pilgrims and his people. Despite facing criticism for treaty negotiations, Squanto's assistance was vital, ensuring the Pilgrims' survival and establishing the foundation for Thanksgiving. Thank you, Squanto. And now in a fun segment, we are going to rank the top 3 Thanksgiving episodes of all time. While there are many to go on the list, from some classics like Friends, All in the Family, Cheers, Parks and Recreation, South Park, and Family Guy. These 3 on the list are the most side-splitting, rewatchable episodes of them all. At number 3, The Office, Season 7, Episode 5 called W. UPHF.com. Though Christmas tends to be the bigger holiday for the employees of Dunder Mifflin, this episode sees Dwight attempting to erase the childhood trauma caused by his family creating competing hay festivals each Thanksgiving where he was never crowned king. You can stream this episode on Peacock. At number 2, Seinfeld Season 6, Episode 8 called The Mom and Pop Store. Like any episode of Seinfeld, there are multiple plots happening in here, but they're all happening at Thanksgiving time, and many of the episode's high points revolve specifically around the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Among the highlights, Elaine helps her boss, Mr. Pitt, win a chance to pilot the Woody the Woodpecker balloon in the parade. Also, we have a great guest appearance by Tim Whatley, played by Bryan Cranston. And who can forget George's new car, the famous John Voight car? This episode is streaming on Peacock and Hulu.
Everybody's talking at me. I can't hear a word they're saying. Just driving around in John Voight's car.
And at number 1, a must-watch, probably without children around, I might add. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Season 9, Episode 10 called The Gang Squashes Their Beefs. The gang from Patty's Pub isn't known for their altruism, but in the name of Thanksgiving, they decide to host a dinner and invite just a few of the hundreds of people they've wronged over the years. The McPoyles are there, thankfully, as are Bill Ponderosa and Gail the Snail, with Rickety Cricket showing up later. But if you think this dinner ends peacefully, you've clearly never seen an episode of Sunny. I'm definitely going to squeeze this one in today. You can watch this episode on Hulu. Well, alrighty, folks, it's time for the thought of the day. If you feel like you're getting full and just can't eat another bite, go put on some sweatpants. And if you're around company where that might not be appropriate, just unbutton the top button of your pants and leave your shirt untucked. No one will notice. I've been doing it for years. Now go out there and show me what you got. Today, I'm so thankful for you all, my very good friends. Gobble, gobble, everyone. Remember to stay tuned tomorrow for more news and updates. Have an amazing day, my friends. Whether you're heading to work, an event, or just enjoying the day, stay safe and enjoy your day to the fullest. We'll be back tomorrow with another Sunny Mornings podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Just driving round in John Voight's car.